Hey guys, it's another School Fortnight recap. School Fortnight recap 12, week 3 of term 3, 2015, year 10. Monday, the 13th of July, 2015. Science. We went outside to the school to see the speed humps because it is part of our investigation, which is on the double on Friday. Came back to class and went into groups. English. We worked on more questions on the Google Docs. Religion. Majority of people presented their presentations in terms of significant events in the timeline of the church. PD prac. We did prac with another class. I was the only guy in my class that got changed, and two other girls as well. We danced the Macarena and then the Nutbush. Math. Worked more on financial maths, aka catch up. Timber. We were busy working on the coffee table drawings portfolio as we had theory. Tuesday, 14th of July, 2015. Math. We had to watch a video, then make a list of waste. Budgeting, then we discussed an example of a person's income and expenses. Geo, got a new worksheet. It's a cause and effect sheet. Write the cause and then the effects, etc. At the end of the lesson, we were handed out the excursion notes as it's on week 7. English, worked on more questions. James was back and we actually worked the most. What I don't know what Brian, Shane, or what Patrick A was doing because it's just me and James Will doing the work. Religion. The second half of our class got to present for our presentations in terms of significant events in the timeline of the church. Music. Best intro ever. I was drumming as people walked up to the stairs as they went to the drama and the music rooms. We used Logic for 15 minutes trying to we practiced our songs in prac. Science. We started on writing a report for our new investigation, which is on the double on Friday. Wednesday, the 15th of July, 2015. Math. All was good. Most people were away for the commerce excursion. We searched up a job with its payment for pages 12 to 13. I was a vineyard worker. Religion. Had to define all 12 words as a glossary. Geo. Miss us away, so we had a sub. Most people did work. Some people were doing their own things. English. We discussed on a picture where a baby with a helmet is winding up a dove with an olive, while there are toy soldiers getting killed or fighting. Timber. The usual Timber. Worked on our portfolios for a coffee table. PD. We did a test for our career skills, then Sir talked about it, how he became a teacher, and finally we watched a video on dancing. Thursday, 16th of July, 2015. Double Timber. We worked on our portfolios again. I was titled helpful because David M was telling George to be more like Neil. I gave Ronnie the marking criteria to borrow. Gibran asked for a ruler, and so I brought two rulers as the maximum was 600 millimeters. It helped many people like Dano, Joseph A, etc. While Elias K, Talira used my USB. Sport, it was good. I didn't get to teach because my client/student was away, but other than that, it was all good. Friday, 17th of July, double science. For the first half of the double, we did the experiment on the cars traveling through the speed humps. Then in the second half, we wrote the analysis, discussion, and conclusion. Even though it's just me and Jim Wall in our group, we finished first, and we also used the old trundle wheels that don't click. We got like merits. Like it wasn't even perfect, but screw it. English, we worked to brainstorm our ideas and the forms of protest and what we were protesting, like James Will, Shane, and Patrick. But Brian was away that day. Music, we did prac. We had to record a capella version of our songs on Soundtrap. PD theory, the usual theory, go in the worksheets in most, if not all groups for the dances were created from us students. Math, we did the set of activities, pretty much up to page 17, Medicare levy, superannuation, and taxable income. Recap 12, week 4 of term 3, 2015, year 10. Monday, the 20th of July, 2015. Geo, slow start, the usual Geo. PD, prac. Instead of joining with other classes, we practiced our dance with our formed groups. I was with Jimwell, the only group that has only 2 members in our class. Religion, we had to study a little on Martin Luther and the Reformation. Math, we did an informal test that was basically definitions and interest. English, it was Callum and Manu who sat at our table along with Shane and Patrick. That's all I could say about it. There's more to it. Music, Thomas and Manu performed Words by the Bee Gees while me and Jimmo played Play School. In front of everyone, obviously, in music. Tuesday, the 21st of July, 2015. I went to the thinking/drama skills workshop of the Tournament of the Minds excursion instead of school. It was a slow start. It was only Pamela, Grace, and Neil who turned up. We waited the whole time at school for Nahum. We saw many classmates in our year passing by. Matthew L., Krishna, Belina, Viali, John N., Joseph K. Thomas, possibly more. Time flew by, so we hired a Year 9 student instead of Nahum. During the drive to the venue, I sat at the middle at the back seat with Pamela, and Pamela was at my right and Grace was on my left, while Sir's driving and the Year 9 student on the other seat, the front seat that is. We went to Campbelltown at Thomas Acres Public School, aka primary school. It was pretty good and big for a primary school compared to the schools from the suburbs where we came from. Our school slash group stood out because we were the only high school there. There was Thomas Acres, Mortdale, and some other primary schools near the regions. I'll summarize. It was the actual coordinator of Tom. She taught us drills like the thinking original ideas, elements of drama, spontaneous challenge. All of us students were used in demonstration, and also had to act for Dwarfs Got Talent. On the way back, got a bit quiet. Halfway, when no one was talking, Pamela was on her phone listening to music while Grace was looking outside her window. I fell asleep. When I woke up, they laughed. I was shocked because of how long it took for me to wake up and how hard they tried. We dropped the Year 9 student, and then the rest of us, Year 10 students, went to KFC with Sir. My meals were too simple for the common customers. All I bought was a snack pack and a regular pack of chips. We then went back to school into the library and met with our groups. Math, engineering, and social science, that is. Pamela and Grace had to recount what happened in the excursion extensively to their group, while I was like to my group with only like a few words. We got down into work, discussed our ideas for our act and procedures. My group left early like usual, while the social science people were still at the library. Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2015. Religion had a sub. Sir just spoke about reformation, including corruption, as a lecture for the whole time. PD again practiced with our groups. I swear, John N, Samuel D, and Daniel S all joined for a few seconds for a quick dance when it was just Jimwell and me dancing. Math. Learned about compound interest. Science. Had a sub. We discussed how we're gonna do the egg drop test as we were in the groups that we created. Timba. We did to work more on our mental clock for other people to catch up. Geo. The usual new worksheet was on land management, include 2 paragraphs. Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2015. I had double music. For the first half, we did note flight, aka theory lesson. Second half, we did whatever song we liked. Then I had Timbat. Continued on our portfolios of vectorwork drawings as a theory lesson. Then I had sport. Instead of sport, I went to the Tournament of the Minds conference room. Nahum turned up, but went down. It was Pamela and Grace who went through the various activities for every younger student to understand, while I'm just sitting at the sides after I helped Sir from the quadrilateral. We then went into our groups, did work, discussed, and so on, went home as the bell rang. Friday, the 24th of July, 2015. Got double English. Some people were away for the VA excursion. It was only me and Shane in our group. Shane and Ronnie was called to Mr. Clark's office. Minutes later, Jamesville, Manu, and Callum came in and looked sus because it's 3 of them at the same time. All 3 of them sat within our table. That's Manu, Callum, and James. Even though Manu and Callum aren't in our group. That's why I like my group, because it's Lima. It's number 5. A group of 5 people, that is. Math. We did the final informal exam. Basically, it was a simple interest, compound interest, and also defining allowances, etc. Geo. We continued to finish the worksheets that was on land and water management. That was to include 2 paragraphs. Science. We discussed more on the procedure on the egg drop that is to be conducted on Tuesday. Religion. We worked on the workbook on the medieval years of the church leading up to the Reformation.